The wheel tonight as we look forward to update you as to what is happening in the world of news. Thank you so much for always finding time to keep it the home of untold stories. This is TV47 News Tonight, and as I have said, taking it up all the way from Nakuru County, that is Naivasha to be particular, Serian Resort. Thank you so much for hosting us, and as we look forward to update you, we also are looking forward to an incredible session tomorrow morning as we take the governor of Nakuru County on what is the progress down here while as they look at the issues of dealing with COVID-19, importantly, looking at the fact that the counties are staffed. They really do not have much of monies, and therefore the complaints at some point in time, and of course issuing threats that they would close down. But then of course Treasury comes in handy to make sure that such is not the case. That's what we'll be having tomorrow morning. But for now, or as of now, we'll definitely also have an incredible session, an interview in regards to the volcanized Mount Kenya region. What is happening there politically? What does it mean? Of course, as we are headed to 2022 general elections, Honorable John Mutudho, former NACADA chairperson, will be joining us for that conversation. So make sure that you keep it right here. You definitely would have expected us to engage him on matters, drugs, and how we get to deal with the same. But tonight we make it special because, like I have said, indeed a special night. It is good to have you, and I would love to hear from you. Hashtag you get to speak to us, News Tonight. Let's get to hear what it is that you have to say as we continue with the same. Remember, we have so much lined up for you in regards to news, but first, let's take a look at the highlights. COVID-19 ravages Western and Nyanza. Stricter containment measures imposed on 13 counties after their combined positivity rate rose to 21%. No BBI, no elections. Staunch BBI supporter Kotu boss Francis Atwoli says the general election will be postponed if the BBI referendum is not conducted before August 2022. Where is our kin? The family of a lady abducted in Kamkunji area in untold agony. A search for her goes cold moments after her abductors released a disturbing video. No pay rise for 2 years. The Salaries and Remuneration Commission puts a hold on review of civil servants' salaries following a slump in economic growth. Remember, the hashtag is News Tonight. Kindly take time to interact with us. I'll be sampling some of your comments as we proceed with the broadcast. News Tonight begins right now. Our sign language interpreter is Ann Wairimo. And as I say, it's a special edition, but then again, of course, conformed of so much of negativity in terms of news. And we start off on this one as anger and anxiety continues to rise among Kenyans as many are turned away from the vaccination centers due to the shortage of the vaccination. And according to the Ministry of Health, well, less than 1% of the adult population in the country has been able to be fully vaccinated so far. This, as Zainab Mohammed tells us.
Excuse me, sir. In a clip doing rounds on social media, a group of infuriated Kenyans are seen causing an altercation at a health facility after they were turned away due to lack of COVID-19 vaccines.
That's Ministry of Health. And I ask you, who's the employer? Who's the employer?
The angry Kenyans who claim to have received a text message from the Ministry of Health to go for their second jab could not understand why the facility claimed there were no vaccines.
What hour is this to tell people you have no vaccines?
After being rolled out a couple of weeks ago, the takeoff of the second dose administration exercise is seemingly facing major setbacks. On Wednesday, the Ministry of Health, through their Twitter account, confirmed the ongoing shortage whilst asking Kenyans and specifically health workers to be patient as their jabs will be administered as soon as the vaccine becomes available. This is after the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union confronted the ministry on behalf behalf of its members after most of them were turned away from various facilities across the country. Even as Kenyans continue to anticipate the arrival of more COVID-19 vaccines in the country, what is becoming increasingly clear is that the 1.16 million Kenyans who have already received their first dose will have to wait a little longer than expected as uncertainties continue to mar the entire process. Zainab Mohammed, TV47.
Well, and a family in Nairobi's Eastleigh estate has had to endure agonizing distress. That is for the past about 48 hours after Hafsa Mohammed, their kid, was reportedly abducted by unknown people shortly after leaving her Kamkunji shop on Tuesday evening and having a moment at the company of a female friend. Now, as David Mudoka reports, the family is now calling on DCI detectives to come in handy and help in the search of their kin. Of course, this at a point when cases of abductions are on the rise, especially Somali girls being targeted.
For 2 days now, the family of 23-year-old Hafsa Mohammed has known no peace following her abduction on Tuesday evening. The Eastleigh resident was reportedly abducted by unknown people after she left her workplace in Kamukunji, Nairobi, minutes past 5 p.m. in the company of a female friend identified as Hafsa Abdul Wahab. According to witnesses, the two were headed to the latter's fruit vending business in Kayole Estate, but whether they made it there remains a mystery, not only to their families but also to detectives probing the case. Another puzzle is whether the two are still alive, with the hope that their kin are still breathing, fading with every tick of the clock. This despite the captors demanding a 4 million shilling ransom from Hafsa Mohammed's family on Wednesday that had an equivalent 4-hour ultimatum so as to let go of her. The abductors, however, went cold soon after, but not before leaving behind this tormenting 34 seconds video of Hafsa Mohammed's bruised face and tied limbs in what was meant to be proof of life. It is this video that has become a bitter pill to swallow and a nightmare for Hafsa Mohammed's family, still unable to come to terms with the unimaginable horror meted on its family member. And as the search for the duo that began with the filing of a missing persons report at the Buruburu police station before later making its way to DCI detectives based in Kayole, the family of Hafsa Mohammed waits, fingers crossed, holding to every glimmer of hope that their wait will soon be over. The duo's disappearance is the latest case in a surging wave of abductions targeting young Somali girls and comes barely a week after another girl was abducted and later found dead in Changamwe, Mombasa. As the focus of the investigation shifts to tracing movements of the two by phone, detectives in Buruburu, here at Kayole as well as Nairobi, have joined efforts to unravel the abduction mystery. David Mudoka, TV47 at Kayole, Nairobi.
Same breath, the family of security consultant and specialist and analyst, that is Mwendwa Bijiwe, who went missing 6 days ago, it now wants the police to speed up the investigations into his disappearance. And as Daniel Caesar reports, well, the family last saw their kin, or last saw the former Reiki officer on the 12th of June, that is 2021.
On the morning of Saturday, 12th June 2021, security consultant Mwendwa Bijiwe embarked on a journey to his rural home in Meru, and as it turns out, his rural home was not the destination as he went missing along the way. This prompted his family to file a missing person report at Kasarani police station on Tuesday, and the same was filed at the Central Police Station on Wednesday.
He was on his way to Meru. He had called his mom and informed the mom that he would be traveling to Meru that evening, and it was confirmed. So around 8 he called again and he told the mom that he wanted to be prepared certain meal. He confirmed that he was on his way. That was the last time we heard of Mwenda anywhere, as in he didn't communicate with anyone, not friends, not family, and no one. And the car that he was using has not been found, still missing. Mwenda is missing, the car is missing. The matter was reported at Kasarani police station by one of the relatives, and the mom had to come all the way to Nairobi and report the matter at Central Police Station, but still nothing.
Addressing journalists after a follow-up at the Central Police Station in Nairobi, his sister Tamara Mbijiwe faulted the police for what she termed the slow pace of investigations.
I'm not happy or satisfied with whatever information I've been given at the police station, because one, they are not ready, or they were not owning up that they should be the ones handling the case. What they have been doing is referring us from one office to the other, from this boss to the other. We'll go to the CIO, go to the deputy DCIO, look for this, look for that. So after this minute, we don't have anything concrete to say that, can give us information.
In 2017, Mwenda Mbijiwe contested the Meru gubernatorial seat on an ODM ticket after dumping Jubilee, but lost to the incumbent governor Kiraitu Murungi. Daniel Masiza, TV47.
And now into some bit of politics. Right Honorable Raila Odinga has hit back at his Wiper counterpart, that is Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, over his recent remarks that he will not be running mate again. Speaking in Mombasa County, Right Honorable Raila Odinga says that he has not registered his interest of going for the top seat just yet. This, as Mario Machado tells us.
Speaking in Mombasa, ODM leader Raila Odinga fired back at Wiper's Kalonzo Musyoka over remarks that he will not be Raila's running mate for the third time. Odinga says he is yet to declare his intention to run for the presidency during the 2022 polls.
Mimi nimesema sijatangaza mimi nataka kusimama urais. Nilitangaza. Lakini wengine wanasema ati hawawezi kuniunga mkono. Mimi si nimeuliza wewe niunge mkono? Mimi sijatangaza. Bado wanaanza kutetemeka. Naanza kubweka. Subiri bwana, mambo bado.
In an interview, Kalonzo Musyoka yesterday said it is very unlikely that he will support former Prime Minister Raila Odinga for the president again. The Wiper party leader said he would rather retire than support Raila.
I cannot see, and I made it clear, I would be the most stupid fellow on the earth to go and support the third time a presidential candidate, all right? Without a measure of reciprocity. I think it goes beyond the doctrine of good faith, justice, fairness. Yeah.
Wiper party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has also denied reports that President Uhuru Kenyatta said he will support a NASA candidate in next year's general elections. Raila further insisting that the constitutional amendment bill is only on a break, promising a comeback for the BBI.
Mahakama ilitupeleka BBI kwa half time. Rege ijasimama, rege imeenda kwa half time. Sivyo? Endelee. Nobody can stop reggae.
Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho, on his part, said that the coast region is an ODM zone.
Here, this is an ODM government in Mombasa, led by myself, implementing a vision that is collectively done by ourselves as leaders and the political party we are in. Tumelewana? So we have a vision. That is why mimi naambia kina Abdusama that leave you guys to be local politicians, and I'm going national, my friend. Huko juu huko.
ODM party leader Raila Odinga reiterating that he has not yet stated his interest in the presidential seat come 2022. Mariam Wacharo, TV47, Mombasa County.
Well, there will be a test run on the Green Park Terminal tomorrow, that is Nairobi. During the trial, all public service vehicles plying the Langata Road and the Ngong Road and all the adjacent roads will pick and drop passengers at the newly built terminus from 5 a.m., that is to 9 a.m. in a move that is expected to test the terminus' efficiency in decongesting the central city or the central business district. Let's take a look at that.
For the third time, Green Park Terminal will be buzzing with activities, opening its doors to public service vehicles plying Langata and Ngong Road routes. Residents of Langata, Kikuyu, Dagoretti, Kibra, Ngumo, Kiserian, Rongai, Madaraka and Nairobi West estates will be forced to cut short their journey into the central business district, trekking the rest of the way.
This park targeted vehicles that are coming through Ngong Road, which pass here, Langata Road, and some which are coming from Mombasa Road. Eventually the Mombasa Road vehicles will terminate in Workshop Road terminus, which NMS will be constructing in the next 3 months, giving a breather for the team in Mombasa Road.
Friday's final test run will also affect PSVs operating from Moya Avenue Lane, Nairobi Railway Station Bus Terminus, Hakati Stage, Ambassador, Mfangano and Kencom. The test run is expected to begin from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Having done similar pick-up and drop-off exercises separately, tomorrow's full test is expected to evaluate the terminal's viability in decongesting the city.
The tests are really meant to ensure and prepare operators, the public, and those who designed the park to see if it will function in the way it was designed to function.
Although the move has been criticized by city dwellers, NMS insists that passengers will have the option of taking a taxi or a motorbike into the CBD, writing off concerns of the tedious walks to the city center. PSVs will continue with the operations from their normal pick-up and drop-off points from Saturday as NMS concludes the construction of 5 other termini, including Desai and Park Road, Workshop Road, Fig Tree and Mudhurwa, in its efforts to decongest the city. Musa Salah, TV47.
We'll be sending our team tomorrow to make sure that they collect this information and update us accordingly in data story compiled by Musa Salah. It now takes us for a quick break. Remember, we are in Nakuru County special edition of News Tonight. Thank you so much for your feedback. We'll be sampling them as we continue. We first take that quick break and we're back.
At Global Precast Panels, we have the best quality, durable and affordable precast panels to suit all your needs. Manufactured under a controlled environment, we have the best precast concrete panels, precast concrete floor slabs, precast concrete perimeter wall, precast concrete columns and beams. Our panels reduce construction cost by up to 40% with absolutely no plaster required, including added soundproof benefits, convenient 4-story buildings, schools, offices, residential houses, hospitals, and warehouses. Take advantage of our free transport. Contact us on 0702 24 7267 or 0796 24 7267. Global Precast Panels Limited, your reliable option for efficient construction.
These are the sights and sounds of a working nation. There are no shortages to remarkable ideas. What's missing is the will to execute them.
You need to stay relevant. If you don't, you're going to fade off.
Yes, they are a dime in a dozen, but the real meat on these bones comes from trying to realize them.
You just need to perfect anything. If it's drawing, if it's music, pursue it 100% because it's something that is giving back.
Join me, Violet Njoki, as I tell you the stories of these executed ideas. because yours could be next. Mondays, 7:30 p.m.
Hey, now that's hitting the right notes. When life gets boring, we bring out our play. You see, playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and laugh. It's in the way we walk, the way we rock, and how we just don't stop. You feel me? We add color to everything, to every day and every dish, because the world needs our crazy. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
Well, the speaker is neither here nor there.
I should have done my outro from here.
Yeah, no.
And just like that, I look beautiful.
Tune in to Morning Cafe, Mondays to Fridays from... Well, a special edition of News Tonight. Glad that you are here with us. That is on TV47, the home of untold stories. Like we always promise, we are going to go all the way to make sure that we bring the stories to you. And exactly that's what we're doing right now as we update you on what is happening in the world of news. Welcome back. And of course, we are delving deep. Remember, we are at Naivasha, that is the Eserian Resort in Nakuru County. We'll be having a credible conversation later on in regards to the rift that continues to widen in the Mount Kenya region now. The east and the west also taking different directions. What would it mean for their political stability come 2022? We'll be engaging Honorable John Mutudo on that. Make sure that you keep it right here and keep dropping the comments if you'd have any for him. And of course, any questions will definitely be here to make sure that he gets to answer them. But we are back with more news, and we start off still on the note of politics. This as a Gotv boss, Francis Atwoli, now argues that the constitutional amendment bill will have to sail through before next year. And in the event that it does not, then we can as well postpone the elections. Meanwhile, ODM leader Raila Odinga, as earlier reported by Marian Macharo, says that reggae is only on a break and will be back.
The Central Organization of Trade Unions Gotv boss Francis Atwoli says if the constitutional amendment bill will not have sailed through before next year's polls, then he will lead a push for the polls to be postponed by 1 year.
But what I know for sure, BBI will be there. And if there will be no BBI, this one I can tell you with authority, then we will look into an issue of making sure we have BBI before we go for elections. We want peace in this country as workers. After every 5 years, the recipients of the problems are workers.
ODM boss Raila Odinga says the bill is not on a break, insisting it will resume soon.
Kama reggae itaendelea, tumanake tulisema ati nobody can stop.
The statement by Atwoli has raised a heated debate across the political divide. The Gotv Secretary General maintains that next year's election should not be held until reforms proposed in the Constitutional Amendment Bill are approved.
It is not possible to change the election date. Once 5 years are over, it affects the president, it affects the members of parliament, it affects the governors, it affects MCS, and it also affects the financial year. So there is no way the election date can be changed.
Parliament may, by resolution supported in each house by at least 2/3 of all the members of the house, from time to time extend the time of parliament by not more than 6 months at a time. And then it finally says the term of parliament shall not be extended under clause 2 for a total of more than 12 months. So the constitution is so prescriptive under article 102 that the maximum extension of parliament, and it does not extend to presidency, is only 1 year.
The High Court in Nairobi declared the bid to amend the 2010 Constitution unconstitutional, null and void, pausing the process. However, the proponents of the bill have appealed the decision.
We cannot extend the parliament, and we cannot extend the presidential or the executive cannot continue or cannot extend to continue being a president. In fact, I'm going for an election in 2022 August. I never know. I might lose, I might come back. You don't know what's going to happen. But we're ready for it. And we are supporting the country to continue and leave this process of the courts to do their work.
An application has been filed at the Court of Appeal in the BBI case seeking to have the petitioner submit additional evidence. The evidence is in the form of affidavit containing the joint report of Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs and Senate Standing Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs and Human Rights and the Hansard of the Senate on the debate and approval by the Senate. Elizabeth Mutuku, TV47 Nairobi.
Well, away from politics, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission has said that there will be no salary review plans for the next 2 years. This then will affect all state officers, including President Uhuru Kenyatta, his deputy, members of parliament, and members of county assemblies. The action comes at a time when the effects of COVID-19 continue to slow down the economic growth.
The Salaries and Remuneration Commission has put a temporary hold on salary review for civil servants. That is to say, both the national and county government employees will not get a pay rise, at least for the next 2 years.
There will be no review of the basic salary structures, allowances, and benefits paid in the public sector in the financial year 2021-22 to 2022-23.
Addressing the media in Nairobi in a joint statement together with Labour CS Simon Chelugui and the Minister of Finance and National Planning, the SRC Chair Lynn Mengich said 82 billion shillings will be saved from halt in wages reviews.
Implementation of the outcome of the third remuneration and benefits review cycle is projected to cost 82 billion over a 4 fiscal year period. SRC will review the situation after 2 fiscal years and, based on the status of the economy, guide on the way forward for the remaining period of the third remuneration and benefits review cycle.
According to the International Monetary Fund, it is estimated that the global economy slowed down by 3.5% in January 2021. In Kenya, the economy growth in 2018 and 2019 averaged 5.4%, but it fell to 0.6% in 2020 due to the pandemic. Economy experts have refuted projections that the economy will grow by 6.6% by the end of the year. Economist David Kabata says it is impractical for such a huge leap, even with various interventions put in place to revive the economy.
I don't see how we are going to go to 6.6 with COVID-19 and also the election and referendums that we are talking about them next year. We have so many disruptions next year that we cannot be able to do even 3%. I think the best we can do is 2.5 or 2.7%.
Joash Onsare, TV47, Nairobi.
Once again, as earlier mentioned, we are getting to the second phase of the session where we're having a discussion with Honorable John Mutudo, former NACADA chairperson, that is the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse. This time around, we do not engage him on how best we intensify the fight against drugs, in as much as it's only fair with the passion that he has that will allow him a second or so to, give us his view in regards to the same. But what's important is that today we look at the politics of the day. We are headed to an electioneering period, and the Voterage bloc appears as though it is, not speaking in the same tone. And therefore, the biggest question is just who is this that is going to take up the mantle that is in Mount Kenya from President Uhuru Kenyatta? And aside from that, how then does the Voterage region go into an election, at a point where they are divided? what would it mean for them being able to bargain? That is one conversation that we have this evening. We welcome you to be part and parcel of it. Remember, the program is News Tonight, and the hashtag is News Tonight. We'll be sampling some of your comments and the questions that you'll have for Mheshimiwa as we continue with the broadcast. Asante sana for creating time.
Thank you.
Yes, you
it's a
you be saying welcome, or you tell us welcome?
Welcome to Naivasha.
Thank you.
And I want to remind you that Naivasha is unique to itself.
Right.
We have very unique climate. It's one place that compares only with one small place in North Africa, the Sicily Islands. Climate-wise, it's good. By night, it's cold.
Right.
Very cold, so you may not even require to turn on your refrigerators.
That's true.
And
I got
generally,
it
it's good, and people are good. We have some of the most wonderful people you can come across.
Right. And I'm grateful indeed. We've been welcomed well. And for that reason, we'll stay here until tomorrow.
Tomorrow is too short. You need to stay on over the weekend. Yeah.
Well, we'll plan for some,
and you find Naivasha people are some of the most honest people you will like to come across.
Oh, yeah?
And they love Naivasha.
Allow me to be the person who's going to gauge that. And then I'll come back to you with feedback, tell you whether it is the case.
No problem.
What is the situation politically in Naivasha? I mean, much as we're looking at Nakuru as a cosmopolitan, city, it is becoming a city, by the way.
Yeah.
There is also that bigger picture of it being, inclined into the Mount Kenya region. It's holding more of Mount Kenya individuals, or individuals from the central region. How is the situation like politically
in Naivasha?
Yes, and Nakuru at large.
Nakuru, the governor decided to incline himself to what he thinks he can do, was master of ceremony in one of the big places. But everything begins at home. We start everything at home. I don't recall him at any level calling us, the residents of Nakuru, to ask us exactly what we want. But he assumes, as always, we are children of lesser God.
Right.
And you have to follow what the Mount Kenya guys are doing. And what I hear from the mountains doesn't sound mountain-like.
Oh, yeah?
Sounds like Nyasore growers, the banky growers from
Hold it right there. Is this is your argument on the governor and generally what it is that he does right now a clear indication or a simple way of telling us that he's negating what it is that the Constitution speaks of in regards to public participation? And would it be informed by your political differences?
No, we don't have any political differences. He won with Jubilee.
Yes, and you registered your interest.
And whichever method he used was good for him. But it's just courtesy. Like, you ask the people, even through media or any other place, what is your view? What do you think? What would you like to be? What kind of alliances are you looking at? And then the people who are coming on and they want to become the heads of state should be able to come and tell us exactly, this is Naivasha,
all right.
This is Nakuru, what is in store for us? We are used to having no CS. It's not a big deal to us.
All right.
We are workers. We love working for our gain. You realize that from 1963 we have never had a cabinet secretary.
Right.
It's good. We don't even take offense about that. But we hate when we are taken for granted to an extent that we are going to be pushed like wheelbarrows all along. And where you are dropped, you sit there.
Hold it right here. It's going to be an interesting conversation, and I'm sure you'd love to hear more in regards to the same. Do you suppose then that these are individuals that will speak of a scenario where they probably have been segregated, not involved politically as expected, and not getting value for the hard work that they put and so much more? So we're looking forward to have this and much more. Make sure that you keep it right here. We are taking a quick break. We're coming back with Honorable John Mutulo.
panels. We have the best quality, durable and affordable precast panels to suit all your needs. Manufactured under a controlled environment, we have the best precast concrete panels, precast concrete floor slabs, precast concrete perimeter wall, precast concrete columns and beams. Our panels reduce construction cost by up to 40% with absolutely no plaster required, including added soundproof benefits. Convenient four-story buildings, schools, offices, residential houses, hospitals, and warehouses. Take advantage of our free transport. Contact us on 0702 24 7267 or 0796 24 7267. Global Precast Panels Limited, your reliable option for efficient construction.
These are the sights and sounds of a working nation. There are no shortages to remarkable ideas. What's missing is the will to execute them.
You need to stay relevant. If you don't, you're going to fade off.
Yes, they are a dime in a dozen, but the real meat on these bones comes from trying to realize them.
You just need to perfect anything. If it's drawing, if it's music, pursue it 100% because it's something that is giving back.
Join me, Violet Njoki, as I tell you the stories of these executed ideas, because yours could be next. Mondays, 7:30 p.m.
Hey, now that's hitting the right notes. When life gets boring, we bring out our play. You see, playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and laugh. It's in the way we walk, the way we rock, and how we just don't stop. You feel me? We add color to everything, to every day and every dish, because the world needs our crazy. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
Well, the speaker is neither here nor there.
I should have done my outro from here.
Yes, no.
And just like that, I look beautiful.
Tune in to Morning Cafe, Mondays to Fridays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. with me, Linda Alela, only on TV47, the home of Untold Stories.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku. Pata offers zote mahali pamoja ili uongeze zaidi, utume SMS zaidi na ubrowse zaidi.
Wewe usijali. Tuma namba ya kila supplier kwa hiyo soko. Nitajuble nitaongea na kila mmoja wao.
Very good. Piga *444 hash utunukiwe Credo double.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku.
A show with a unique perspective as to the property industry right here in Kenya. Not only showing you the properties available, but also showing you how you can improve the ambience, look, and feel of your living and working spaces.
Yes.
Wow.
This is our office.
This is amazing.
Currently, we have a lot of design ideas.
Ranging from your sitting areas, dining in,
And welcome back to News Tonight. Still with me, the former NACADA chairperson, National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drugs. And here we are, Honorable John Mutudo, as we expound on the conversation in regards to the unity of Mount Kenya, even as we are speaking about the general elections being around the corner, probably 13 months or thereabout away. And so, Honorable, we're back to you. We are speaking about Mount Kenya East today. We're speaking about Mount Kenya West. What would it mean for Mount Kenya to go to an election year period divided, sharply divided for that matter, from what it is that we see today?
There's only one Mount Kenya.
Okay.
Forget about east, west, north, south. There's only one Mount Kenya.
All right.
And Mount Kenya is driven by reason. The rumbling you are hearing.
You cannot speak of a scenario where people are speaking of setting up parties and you look at that as a simple rumbling.
No. These people, look at, for instance, Meru. If you look Meru, at demographics of Meru, for instance, and incidentally, my wife comes from Meru.
Okay.
So they are my Mudhoniwas, so I know them. I've worked there in 1978, 79, 19 numbers, and compare the numbers with Nakuru, for instance. We are double Meru. Look at the number of CEOs they have today in Uhuru's government. Look at the number of CSS they have, at least they have one, and they have always had CS. Look at the facilities, the investment by the government at Meru. No one would come and complain at Meru level. Right. But the leaders, because of their selfish gain, they would come on and make all kinds of accusations and try to create a vision that's not existing. In actual fact, when I look at the whole region, people from Bere have a reason to talk. But people from Meru or people from Daraka, and I worked in Daraka by 1979, they have a reason to make a bit of noise. But Meru, of all the places, should not even talk about it. Now, what we are seeing now is that we have so many people trying to be number one in a situation where number one is still sitting. Right. And number one himself is not bright. He can see it. He sees all of them.
Constitutionally, number one is sitting for a certain period. And yes. 13 months, like I have said, from now, number one will not be there. And therefore, it is only fair, as they would say it in Swahili, safari ya kesho hufunganywa leo. Don't you think it's only fair that these conversations are on?
Yes, but our Thingiras, there's a place. There are places in homesteads, a small cubicle outside there where the old men sit. They are talking. And I can tell you, and I would like you to invite me here same time next year, and you'll see what I'm telling you is a fact. Wazees are talking. Forget about what all those people are talking in the field.
All right.
They are discussing.
Are we in for a surprise?
A major surprise.
How soon is this? We're looking at the aspect of time.
As soon as the elections are declared, you're going to get a big surprise.
The very same number one that you speak about, Honorable Mutudo, declares at some point in time that it's also time that other regions are able to test the top seat. And like you have rightfully put it, the biggest interest is on the top seat. Wouldn't it be fair then, if we have to speak Mount Kenya, then these regions that you speak about, the Mount Kenya East, these regions, Meru, Bere, and all that, should as well also get a chance of this, having supported you or having supported this other side, Mount
in there for such a modern station, you are way above those parochial issues about the policy. Let me tell you, from 1955 to 1979, the policy was, it's our time to serve. It's our time to serve. Everybody was elected, even for a party salary of 500 shillings, or 2,500, or even 10,000 MPs, they worked. But from 1979 onwards, and which was perfected 2017, they changed the policy. It's our time to eat. So, our time to eat philosophy and policies, and the ones now talking about is our time for Mount Kenya. It's not our time for Mount Kenya. What we should be talking about is that we get number one, who is upright, like the late Godana.
Bonaya Godana.
Yes, a man of immense capability. But we can never look that way again. That is our people, because it is no longer be possible to have our time to eat. If you want to eat, you will face EACC. If you want to eat, you are going to meet the audit. If you want to eat, you are going to face a very hungry youth. If you want to eat, you are going to meet very informed gender. There are ladies today who talk sense. They don't talk about dancing and doing all that kind of things.
Right.
And they'll be watching. So Mount Kenya people who are now talking about fights in Mount Kenya are still in that old thinking.
So
that
this
it is our time. That is our time to eat.
All right.
It is no longer our time to eat. It's our time to serve. The philosophy is changing.
These meetings that have been held, in broad daylight, have been reported on the televisions. Are you telling us that these are not the same meetings that you're speaking about that will give us a candidate or a presidential candidate?
No, far from that. None of those.
None of those.
If you have been seeing a championship, like now we're going to Olympics, there are a lot of people out there who are champions and they're doing their thing quietly and methodically. But there are these people now who feel it's a God-given right to come and lead others and also come and do the things their way. Right now we need to be told by somebody saying, what are we going to do with the big debt that we are going to inherit?
Right.
What are we going to do with this big infrastructure? We are that in Africa now in terms of infrastructure. So who is going to bring up a system that integrates that into economic development so that all the youth are employed and then we're able to pay the loans? There's nothing for free. Those are the kind of people they're looking for. And I can tell you for free, I have seen those people. They had shortlisted 95 Kenyans. I will not talk beyond that. And none of those guys who are talking there are part of that. The recycled plastic. Plastic, when you recycle plastic?
All right.
You have a cup today, tomorrow karaya, then kichanu, then things like that. Those recycled plastics will not be there. You remember the old adage in the Bible that the Egyptians you see today will never see them again. There will be no more.
Right.
I'm telling you now here, the Egyptians you are seeing today, maybe no more. What we'll have are people who are thinking economics, people who are thinking about the safety of all Kenyans, people who don't see you through the eyes of your tribal connotations.
You see, Mheshimiwa, much as we say that yes, these Egyptians will not see them tomorrow, then the effects of the Egyptians will remain with us, and it will take a while for us to undo the same. What will it take for, again, this was this that you speak about, to undo the lies that have constantly been told that they have appeared to be truth?
First of all, let me tell you that anyone who will not be supported by 70% of the population who are the youth has no place. Anyone who doesn't recognize that 60% of us are ladies has no place. So even as you do your thing, there are others who are quiet and they have the vote. You can come now and slaughter all the bulls you want and say you are the king, you are the queen. But people are looking. End of the day, politics is
Are you as well quashing the coronation of Muturi?
Muturi is a speaker of the National Assembly. I wonder how it would feel if John Mutudha, who is a former member of parliament, went and sat at the speaker's seat. There's a procedure.
Okay.
There's a procedure. I've been to Israel many times, and there are very many holy sites for various individuals, including the Wailing Well, where even heads of state go, and you put a message to your God there, direct. It's good to respect people, like the Kayas. It's good to respect people for what they believe in. But for Muturi to go to the mountain, he needed to go with 4 other Makis. There are only 4.
Right.
These are the senior most. Muturi is far from that. These are the Makis. And by the way, Linda, can I tell you something? A Mudamaki in Kikuyu is given Dombe. That big thing like that big hat.
Yes.
Yes. He is given a small container of carrying snuff. He's given something called Mudegi.
So all this fell short of that.
Yeah. He's given Jongwa. You are supposed to rule when seated. An old man is not a dancer. Then you are supposed to have a gown which is made of a leopard skin, well polished. Then you are going to have a whisk, which is from a known bull that was slaughtered because of a particular good occasion. I saw he got a spear. He got a spear?
Yes.
He got a shield. That is for Jambaya Roriri, the warrior. We are talking of completely 2 different places. I get confused. because Muturi is my friend,
Okay.
JB,
All
like
right.
I call him. In fact, he's married from right here, Gilgil here, right here. But when I meet with him, I'll ask him, my friend, what did you get? What did you get? Go back there.
Yes.
Get Zombi for the Mudamaki. The whisk, the last fried whisk was with Kenyatta. Go get it.
Until then,
now
there's nothing.
you have the Jongwa, you
Yeah.
sit, and you are supposed to be hassle-free. You don't retort, you don't insult, you are Mudamaki, you sit and take decisions. You are the Chief Justice of the Kikuyus.
Interesting conversation. Honorable John Mutudha argues that, well, that was not a proper coronation to warrant one being a spokesperson. And importantly, on the division or the much, spoken about division in the Mount Kenya region, he says is an argument that is neither here nor there, that we should wait for a surprise. Indeed, this as all regions or different regions flex their muscles as they prepare themselves for 2022. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. 30 seconds. What would you tell the governor? I'll be having him tomorrow.
Tell him to take a big broom, clean up a big, paint the buildings, including his own Polo Center, tidy a place. A city has a style. They have the basics. Among them is hygiene, cause employment, organize the people properly so that when you come and you want to enjoy your nyama choma in Nakuru, you are in a city. You are not in a village marketplace somewhere.
The city is going to be declared.
Yeah.
We wait to see whether he is going to do all that, avoid a
And wish
congestion
him
and
luck.
make sure that it's a beautiful.
And let him tell us whether he's still running.
Because you also are in for this.
Not really,
Looking forward.
because we shall have a yardstick.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your
my
time
pleasure.
once again. And like I said earlier on, we still have more in the world of news. And right here in the country, the national government has served or has revised the dusk to dawn curfew for 13 counties in Western Kenya to contain the spread of COVID-19. And of course, after a highly contagious Delta variant was detected in these particular regions. And a Ministry of Health reporting indicated that the positivity rate in the 13 regions averages 21% in together, of course, while that of the remaining parts of the country is at about 9%. Let's take a look at that report compiled right here with our own reporter.
According to the government, 13 counties are among COVID-19 hotspots in the country. The counties include Busia, Vihiga, Kisii, Nyamira, Kakamega, Kericho, Bomet, Bungoma, Trans Nzoia, Kisumu, Siaya, Homa Bay, and Migori County. The government has reviewed curfew hours in these counties to start from 7 p.m. and end at 4 a.m. Movement into and out of the hotspot zone is strongly discouraged, with cargo drivers required to possess negative COVID-19 certificates. Cargo trucks shall be limited to only 2 persons per vehicle. Other new measures include weekly non-food and livestock markets has been suspended for 30 days. All public gatherings and in-person meetings have been prohibited. All funerals to be conducted within 72 hours of confirmation of death. All forms of physical and congregational worship have been suspended for 30 days. This comes a day after Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i said that the government will review and put in place new measures to contain the virus in the region.
And even as we challenge the surge in the western part of our country, affecting especially the Nyanza counties and partly western Kenya counties, I know we are up to the task. The National Emergency Response Committee has been meeting regularly. I think by the end of today, we will have a position and we will consult closely amongst ourselves and with the President, and a decision will be made on how we will enhance the containment measures, because it's now becoming absolutely necessary that we enhance containment measures in the Nyanza counties and in parts of Western Kenya. It may lead to us introducing new measures to deal with movement and some of the social activities, all of which are intended to ensure that we manage the spread or the surge of COVID-19.
Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya has urged for stringent measures on the affected counties to curb the spread of coronavirus.
The best way maybe is to lock down Kisumu, Siaya, and Homa Bay, because those were the highest. Because when they lock down all the the entire region. You can see the inconveniences caused because we have high dependency on each other.
The spike in COVID-19 infections notwithstanding, many people in the affected counties continue to disregard the laid-down protocols and to fight the pandemic. On Thursday, the country reported 660 new cases of COVID-19 infections, bringing the total to 177,282 confirmed cases. In the last 24 hours, Siaya recorded a total of 123 cases, Kisumu 102, Nairobi 78, Busia 68, Homa Bay 49, Mombasa 39, Kilifi 19, Nyamira 18, Kakamega 17, and Nakuru 13 cases. Reporting for TV 47, I'm Violet Auma.
And we also get updates of what is happening in the world of sports. Dennis Otieno on standby to give us more.
We will be telling you about the athletes selected to represent the country in the upcoming Tokyo Olympics. We shall also be giving you an update regarding the WRC Safari Rally. Now this and more coming up. And it's time for the sports news with me, Dennis Otieno. Now let's start off with matters athletics. Kenya will for the first time in history compete in the 100-meter race in the Summer Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. This is after Ferdinand Omanyala and Mark Otieno hit the Olympics qualifying time by clocking 10.02 seconds on the first day of the National Olympics qualifiers on Thursday. Mercy Kuloba witnessed the opening day of the Mini Olympics at the Kasarani and now reports.
It has been a long wait for Kenya's 100 debut at the Olympics, the country falling off the 10.05 seconds qualifying mark countless times. On Thursday, it was evident that Kenya will be squaring off with the world's fastest human beings as the duo of Ferdinand Omanyala and Mark Otieno clocked 10.02 seconds and 10.03 seconds at Kasarani, respectively, to book a slot in Tokyo next month.
Ni kitu kubwa sana kuqualify nyumbani. Tulienda Nigeria tukaqualify, but I could feel vile na feel sahi. So nilikuwa nataka kuqualify nyumbani. So going to the Olympics, I'm not looking at anyone. I'll not look at my left or right. I'm going for the time and going for the medal.
Benson Okot came in third to miss out with a mere 0.07 seconds. Emmanuel Kipkirui is anticipating for the 800 meters finals to seal his ticket after starring in the semi-finals ahead of Ferguson Rotich and Jonathan Kitilit in a time of 1 minute 45.46 seconds. Daniel Simiyu won the 5,000 meters men's semis in a time of 13 minutes 33.55 seconds ahead of Jacob Krop and Samuel Chebulei.
In the remaining 5 laps, it was not easy. Nilikuwa natafuta number, you see, if I can be in good position in the semis so that I can proceed to the finals.
In the 5,000 meters women race, it was not rosy for 2019 Olympic champion Helen Obiri, as she was beaten to second place by Lilian Kasait, who clocked 14 minutes 52.18 seconds, as Agnes Tirop came in third. Quinecta Kisembe floored Susan Nyambura and Caroline Mwende to win the 100 meters women's semi-final, as Faith Chepngetich reigned supreme in the 1500 meters race in a time of 4 minutes 2.10 seconds ahead of Winnie Chebet and Edina Chebitok.
Actually, I can say it was really easy today because I'm in great shape now. I ran last week. I ran a personal best in Florence, and that gave me a morale that I can do better in Tokyo and defend my title.
The winners in the 3-day trials will represent Kenya at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics that kick off on July 23rd in Tokyo, Japan. Mercy Kuloba, TV47 Sports.
Well, thank you, Mercy Kuloba, for that report. Now, let's move on to matters motorsport. President Uhuru Kenyatta has flagged off the Safari Rally World Rally Championship, terming the event a step in the right direction for motorsports fraternity. Speaking during the flag-off event at State House, Nairobi, the head of state assured the international community of the country's preparedness to hold a successful World Rally Championship. Kenyatta presented brand new rally cars to M Sport Racing team drivers Hamza Anwar, Macrae Kimathi and Jeremy Wahome, who have been sponsored by Safaricom and Kenya Airways. The World Rally Championship, which makes a return to Kenya after 19 years, is set for Naivasha from June 24th to 27th.
And I want to take this opportunity to thank all agencies, all our private sector, all rally enthusiasts who have given their time and effort to ensure that this event not only takes place, but I also believe takes place and will result in a wonderful success, something that we can all truly be proud of. And this I really look forward to. We're holding this event in the midst of a crisis, of an epidemic.
Now, we had a lot more prepared for you in the world of sports, but with respect to time, we have to call it a wrap on this